Have you ever felt fear holding you back from your dreams? That nagging insecurity that stops you from taking the next step? You're not alone. Many of us carry fears that limit our lives, whether it's fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or even fear of not being enough. These fears can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in cycles of doubt and hesitation. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from these chains and find a courage greater than you ever imagined? In this video, we'll explore how Psalm 23 can be the key to overcoming paralyzing fears. This timeless passage isn't just a beautiful piece of scripture. It's a powerful reminder that we're never alone. Through trust in God's care, you can transform fear into peace, insecurity into confidence, and doubt into unwavering faith. Whether you're facing a major life decision, struggling with anxiety, or simply feeling overwhelmed by the uncertainties of life, Psalm 23 offers a roadmap to freedom. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the profound wisdom in these verses, but also discover practical ways to apply them to your daily life. So, if you're ready to take the first step toward a life free from fear, keep watching. This journey might just change everything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that inspires and empowers. Let's dive in. Fear is a universal experience. It doesn't discriminate by age, background, or circumstance. Whether it's the fear of failure at work, the anxiety of not being good enough in relationships, or the dread of facing an uncertain future, these emotions can feel overwhelming. For many, fear isn't just an occasional feeling, it's a constant companion, whispering doubts and holding them back from living fully. Think about it. How many opportunities have you missed because fear told you, you can't do this? How many dreams have you put on hold because insecurity whispered, you're not capable? Fear has a way of shrinking our world, making us play it safe instead of stepping into the life we're meant to live. It can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in cycles of worry and hesitation. And it's not just about the big fears, the ones that keep us up at night. It's also the small, everyday anxieties that add up. The fear of rejection, the fear of not having enough, or even the fear of being alone. These fears can chip away at our confidence, leaving us feeling powerless and uncertain. But here's the truth. You weren't meant to live this way. Fear doesn't have to define your story. There's a way to break free from its grip and find the courage to move forward. And that's where Psalm 23 comes in. This ancient passage isn't just a comforting set of words, it's a powerful reminder that we're not alone in our struggles. It speaks directly to the heart of our fears, offering a promise of God's presence, provision, and protection. In the next chapter, we'll dive into Psalm 23 itself, exploring how its timeless truths can help you overcome the fears holding you back. But first, let's take a moment to reflect. What fears are weighing on you right now? What would it feel like to let go of them and step into a life of courage and peace? At its core, Psalm 23 is a declaration of trust. It paints a picture of God as a loving shepherd who guides, protects, and provides for his people. Every line is infused with promises of provision, peace, restoration, and presence. But what makes this passage so powerful is its ability to speak directly to our fears. It doesn't deny the existence of valleys or enemies. Instead, it reminds us that even in the darkest moments, we're not alone. God is with us, leading us, comforting us, and fighting for us. In the next chapter, we'll break down each verse, exploring how its message can help us overcome specific fears and insecurities. But for now, let these words sink in. Let them remind you that no matter what you're facing, you have a shepherd who cares for you deeply and is committed to leading you to a place of peace and abundance. Psalm 23 is more than just a beautiful poem. It's a roadmap for overcoming fear. Each verse holds a promise, a truth that can help us face our anxieties with courage and confidence. Let's explore these verses one by one and see how they apply to our lives. 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This opening line sets the tone for the entire psalm. It reminds us that God is our shepherd, our guide, and our provider. When we feel the fear of scarcity, whether it's financial worries, emotional emptiness, or a lack of direction, this verse reassures us that God will provide what we need. Trust that God knows your needs and will provide for you. Let go of the fear of not having enough. 2. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. Here, the psalmist paints a picture of rest and peace. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, this verse reminds us that God offers us moments of calm and refreshment. When anxiety feels overwhelming, take time to rest in God's presence. Let Him lead you to places of peace. 3. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. This verse speaks to the weariness that fear can bring. It promises that God can restore our souls, renewing our strength and guiding us toward what is right. When fear leaves you feeling drained, turn to God for restoration. Trust Him to guide you in the right direction. 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. This is perhaps the most powerful verse in the psalm. It acknowledges that life will have dark, difficult moments, but it also reminds us that we don't have to face them alone. God's presence is our source of courage. In your darkest moments, remember that God is with you. His presence is greater than any fear. 5. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The rod and staff are tools a shepherd uses to protect and guide the sheep. This verse reminds us that God's guidance and protection are always with us, even when we can't see the way forward. Trust in God's guidance, even when the path ahead is unclear. His protection is your comfort. 6. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. This verse is a powerful image of God's provision and protection. Even in the midst of opposition or difficulty, God provides for us and honors us. When you feel surrounded by challenges, remember that God is still working on your behalf. He will provide and protect you. 7. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Anointing with oil was a sign of blessing and favor. This verse reminds us that God's blessings are abundant, even in the midst of our struggles. Focus on God's blessings, not your fears. His goodness is greater than any challenge you face. 8. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The psalm ends with a promise of God's enduring goodness and mercy. No matter what happens, we can trust that God's love and care will follow us all our lives. Live with confidence, knowing that God's goodness and mercy are with you every step of the way. Let me share a story that illustrates the power of Psalm 23 in overcoming fear. This is about Sarah, a woman who faced one of the darkest seasons of her life, but found hope and courage through these timeless words. Sarah was in her early 30s when she was diagnosed with a serious illness. The news shook her to her core. Fear became her constant companion. Fear of the unknown, fear of pain, and even fear of death. She felt like she was walking through the valley of the shadow of death every single day. One night, overwhelmed by anxiety, Sarah opened her Bible and stumbled upon Psalm 23. At first, the words felt distant, almost too simple to address the enormity of what she was facing. But as she read them again and again, something shifted. The line, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me," struck her deeply. Sarah began to meditate on this verse daily. She wrote it on sticky notes and placed them around her house, on her mirror, her fridge, and even her hospital room wall. Each time fear crept in, she would repeat the words, reminding herself that God was with her, even in the darkest moments. Over time, something remarkable happened. The fear that once paralyzed her began to lose its grip. She started to see her illness not as a death sentence, but as a journey where God was walking beside her. She found peace in the promise of green pastures and still waters, even when her body felt weak. Sarah's journey wasn't easy, but Psalm 23 became her anchor. It reminded her that God was her shepherd, guiding her, protecting her, and providing for her every step of the way. Today, Sarah is in remission, and she often shares how Psalm 23 helped her overcome her deepest fears and find courage in the midst of uncertainty. Her story is a powerful reminder that Psalm 23 isn't just a collection of beautiful words, it's a lifeline for anyone walking through fear. Whether you're facing illness, loss, or any other challenge, these verses can remind you that you're not alone. God is with you, and His presence is greater than any fear. Understanding Psalm 23 is one thing, but applying its truths to your life is where transformation happens. Here are some practical steps to help you internalize this powerful passage and use it to overcome fear. 1. Meditate on the verses daily. Set aside a few minutes each day to read and reflect on Psalm 23. Focus on one verse at a time, asking yourself, what does this mean for me? How can I apply it to my current situation? Write down your thoughts or prayers in a journal to deepen your connection with the passage. 2. Memorize key phrases. Memorize verses that resonate most with your fears, such as, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, or surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. Repeat these phrases throughout the day, especially when fear or anxiety arises. 3. Create visual reminders. Write down verses from Psalm 23 and place them where you'll see them often. On your mirror, your desk, or your phone's lock screen, use these reminders to refocus your mind on God's promises whenever fear tries to take over. 4. Pray through the psalm. Turn Psalm 23 into a personal prayer. For example, Lord, you are my shepherd. Help me trust that I lack nothing. Lead me to still waters and restore my soul when I feel overwhelmed. Praying the psalm makes it personal and helps you internalize its truths. 5. Practice gratitude. Reflect on the ways God has provided for you in the past. Keep a gratitude journal, noting moments where you've experienced His guidance, protection, or provision. Gratitude shifts your focus from fear to God's faithfulness. 6. Share with others. Discuss Psalm 23 with a friend, family member, or small group. Share how the passage has helped you and encourage others to apply it to their own struggles. Community support can strengthen your faith and help you stay accountable. 7. Take small steps of faith. Identify one area where fear is holding you back and take a small step of faith. For example, if you're afraid of failure, take on a new challenge while trusting God to guide you. Each step builds your confidence in God's care. By incorporating these steps into your daily life, you'll begin to see Psalm 23 not just as a comforting passage, but as a practical tool for overcoming fear. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. But with each step, you'll grow stronger in your trust in God and His promises. Fear doesn't have to control your life. As we've explored in this video, Psalm 23 offers a powerful antidote to fear, a reminder that God is our shepherd, our guide, and our protector. Whether you're facing the valley of uncertainty, the shadow of loss, or the pressures of everyday life, these timeless truths can anchor your heart and give you the courage to move forward. Let's recap what we've learned. God is with you. No matter how dark the valley, you're not alone. He provides and protects. You lack nothing when He is your shepherd. His promises are real. Goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. Now it's time to take action. Start today by meditating on Psalm 23, memorizing its verses, and praying through its promises. Let these words become a part of your daily life, a source of strength and peace whenever fear tries to take hold. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected with more content that inspires and empowers. Together, let's build a community of faith and courage. Finally, remember this: fear may knock on your door, but it doesn't have to stay. With God as your shepherd, you can face anything with confidence and hope. So take a deep breath, trust in His care, and step into the life of freedom He has for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.